First of all, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan. A dear friend of the President's, a dear friend of mine, a guy who has been, with his leadership and his very careful and skilled negotiation, has got us to this point. To his Field Marshal in Pakistan, Asim Munir, I will say that since Field Marshal Munir welcomed us with the Prime Minister in Islamabad, I have joked that I have two very, very important people in my life, an Indian and a Pakistani. The Indian is my wife, and the Pakistani is Field Marshal Munir. And I've probably talked to Field Marshal Munir more than I've talked to anybody else over the last 3 months.
First of all, I would like to welcome you here, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Prime Minister, your leadership and Field Marshal leadership actually initiating that process. That's what brought us here today.
आइए आज ईरान के सदर की भरपूर उनको वालिहाना इस्तकबाल देने के लिए हमें तैयारी करनी चाहिए, ना कि आज इन इख्तलाफी मसाइल को उठाएं। आपका बहुत शुक्रिया।
नाज़रीन, कौमी असम्बली इजलास जारी है। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ इजलास से खिताब कर रहे थे। उनका कहना था स्विट्ज़रलैंड में ईरान और अमरीका के दरमियान अहम तकनीकी मुज़ाकरात हुए हैं। पाकिस्तान ने खुलूस और मेहनत से दोनों मुल्कों में फासले कम करने के लिए काविशें की। दोनों मुल्कों के मुज़ाकरात में तारीखी पेशरफ्त हुई है। पाकिस्तान की सालसी कोशिशों से आइंदा 60 दिन के लिए रोड मैप पर इतफाक हो गया। कवी उम्मीद है कि अमरीका और ईरान तारीखी मुआहदे पर पहुंच जाएंगे। पाकिस्तान का इंतहाई अहम किरदार तारीख का हिस्सा है। पूरी आलमी बरादरी पाकिस्तान के बेमिसाल किरदार की मोतरफ है।
I said, no matter what happens in the talks, with an agreement, without an agreement, I pledge to you that Iran, as long as I'm Prime Minister, will never have a nuclear weapon. Never. As long as I am the Prime Minister of Israel, I will not let that happen.
Say before we introduce a couple of the people, we're doing very well with respect to the Hormuz Strait. We took in more oil yesterday than has ever gone through the strait. You probably see that we have an oil gusher. The strait is totally open. You know that, and we're negotiating. We'll see how that all goes. But we have two things: we have an open strait, and we have a country that will never have a nuclear weapon. Will never, ever have a nuclear weapon. As long as they respect us. I don't want to use the word fear because that's an inappropriate word. But as long as they respect us, we're not going to have any trouble. We have total control of the strait. So the mechanism is, we have a Navy that had a blockade. I think the blockade was more impactful than dropping bombs, if you want to know the truth. It was like they call it the steel wall. Nobody got through. Not one ship got through, able to go to Iran. They got through if we wanted them to go through. And we could set that up again in about 15 minutes. I would say, Pete, one phone call. How long would it take? Maybe half hour?
They're ready to go right now if you need to.
It'll be before we finish the meeting.
The first round of the high-stakes US-Iran talks has wrapped up in Switzerland, with both sides agreeing on a roadmap for the next 60 days. The meeting lasted about 80 minutes and launched a diplomatic process focused on 4 key issues: Iran's nuclear program, sanctions, monitoring mechanisms, and dispute resolution. Technical teams from both the countries are scheduled to continue negotiations throughout the week. One major outcome of the first round of negotiations was the creation of a direct communication channel to prevent misunderstandings and reduce the risk of escalation during the talks. The parties also discussed protecting commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global energy supplies. Perhaps the most significant development was an agreement to establish a de-confliction cell involving Lebanon, with Pakistan and Qatar acting as mediators. The goal is to help manage and reduce fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. For now, the negotiators are in a 60-day sprint to reach an agreement on the technical details that hold massive implications for the world economy and global security.